So you want to run Gothic Horror in your Pathfinder 2 game? Well, welcome to the immortal principality of Ustalav. An ancient and mist-shrouded land, Ustalav is steeped in thousands of years of civil war, shadowy horrors, selfish rulers, and deadly conspiracies. Ustalav has many enemies, but only the most visible ones, dangerous undead and Numerian aggressors, are external. Internally, the nation suffers from infighting among its decaying aristocracy, serial killers who keep to the shadows, and monsters clever enough to masquerade as humans. The history of Ustalav begins in 2361 AR, when numerous Varisian families settled the unclaimed land of Likenkarthen in the shadow of the Hungry Mountains. Ustalav did not become a true nation, however, until Sudvidia Ustav united the desperate Varisian settlements and drove out the orcs and the native Kelid people. Naming it after himself, the kingdom of Ustalav grew for 5 centuries, ruled by the descendants of the Ustav line. However, near constant feudings among the clannish Varisian families began to dominate the kingdom. To prevent a civil war, King Keldamov decided to split the nation into 16 counties in 2862 AR. He divided up the land and assigned it to various noble families. Each county's ruler possessed its autonomy, but they in turn owed their allegiance to the monarch of Ustalav. This change eased tensions and led to a rare Ustalavic golden age of growth and prosperity for some centuries thereafter. But little did they know the danger that was lurking right under their feet. In 3203 AR, Tar-Baphon rose as a Lich King with incredible power. He quickly set about creating vast armies of undead, and through careful diplomacy united the orcs of the neighboring hold of Belkzen under his command. With these forces combined, Tar-Baphon devastated Ustalav, creating a land of the undead by 3206 AR. It was not until 3754 AR, nearly 150 years later, that the first glimmer of hope appeared. The Shining Crusade. These forces fought against Tar-Baphon, finally entrapping him in Gallowspire in 3828 AR. Ustalav lost 4 of its counties. 2 were declared uninhabitable and became haunted wastelands. The other 2 were given to the Crusader army to create a nation of Lastwall as a permanent guard against any resurgence of horrors. Ustalav re-established itself after the Whispering Tyrant's defeat and was renamed the Immortal Principality of Ustalav, preserving much of the rules and the culture of the Old Kingdom. However, the Immortal Kingdom could not recapture its former glory and was forever changed. The royal line of Ustav had died out during the country's long Dark Age. After a census of the remaining nobility, the crown was eventually given to Prince Andridos Ordoranti in the year 3834 AR. But this only contributed to greater infighting among the nobility, a series of weak rulers, and slowing the country's recovery to a crawl. Under the political upheaval and machinations of its rulers lie deeper threats to modern Ustalav. The legacy of the Whispering Tyrant has poisoned and cursed the land. Many of his followers remained at large even after his capture, and now that Tar-Baphon is free, who knows what the future will hold. Older threats also stir, including spirits of the Kelids that the Ustalavs destroyed generations ago, the legendary beasts long forgotten, and threats from beyond its borders have not gone away. All this leads to modern Ustalav being fearful and suspicious state. Some seek meaning in the dark spirits of the nation and manage to turn to the arts or to faith and learning, while others turn to the shadows and be consumed by what they find there. Session 0 is important in any game, but especially so in horror. In horror, we take our viewers, we take our audience, we take our players into a realm that is uncomfortable for them. But we don't want to drive them away, and we want it to be a safe place at the gaming table. So it is very important that you have these conversations ahead of time. For me, one of the defining factors of Gothic horror is this idea of the purity versus the taboo. What happens if we give into our sinful nature? One classic example of this is the vampire. You see, the vampire is not some dragon or some extraterrestrial creature from beyond the stars. No, it is a man, it is a woman who has given themselves fully into their carnal nature. The werewolf is also similar in that it is a person who has given themselves up into their carnal nature, but it is displayed in something that is more wild and ferocious than the suave debonair associated with vampires. Both vampires and werewolves make excellent creatures to put into your Pathfinder 2nd Edition game, but it doesn't stop there. There are more dangers to Gothic horror. The genre not only warns about the carnal nature of man, but warns against taking technology too far, when science becomes playing God. You see these in the classic examples of Frankenstein and Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. In northern Ustalav is Lipstadt University. Here they study and teach history, philosophy, theology, alchemy, medicine, mathematics, and the other sciences. But not all who study here, and not all who teach, have the best intentions. Here you can add monstrosities of experiments gone wrong, such as the flesh warp or the flesh golem. So who can save us from these monstrosities? Who can save us from ourselves and what we may become? Certainly not the political hierarchy with their constant infighting, and the church has its own struggles and corruption. Your players play a vital role in saving this land from the corruption and monsters that roam it. And maybe, just maybe, they will live to tell their tale.